Good. Hey Legacy Builders, welcome back to Mind Your Money. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my December budget setup. So this is a digital spreadsheet basically that I've created so that I can put together all of the paycheck budgets for the month, which is in reality setting up the monthly budget. I'm just breaking it down week by week. I'm so grateful. If you're here for the first time, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up on this video. And this should be Vlogmas Day 2. So if it is, I hope that you are enjoying Vlogmas so far. At this point, you should have probably already seen my budget pre-plan with me, basically how I set up the budget for the month and how I pre-plan, which is usually with a pen and paper. That's how I start. I just get my calculator after I have a meeting with my husband, find out what our priorities are, what our goals are, and I know what most of them are, but it's always good to include my partner because he is the sole breadwinner right now in the family, and we're doing this together. Now, I am going to walk through my spreadsheet with you, and hopefully, if you are in Christmas mode and savings mode and getting ready for the new year and setting goals, hopefully, we can sit down, get a cup of coffee, tea, hot chocolate, whatever, and let's get to planning for our new month. I am drinking peppermint tea today from this beautiful mug that was sent to me by Paula over at Budget Life with Paula. Her sister actually created this for me, and I absolutely love it. So I just wanted to show you that. It's beautiful, it's gorgeous, and I am drinking from it. So let's get into the spirit of budgeting and planning and putting things together. December is going to be a 5-pay month, like I said. So that means we have an extra paycheck to allocate. And I want to start saving for the 100 envelope challenge. And that means that I need to include the money that we plan to save for that challenge within December's budget. Now it's a cash savings challenge, so I'm going to be sharing that on my second channel, Tasha's Money and Stuff. So if you have not gone over there to subscribe, pause this video, go over there, subscribe. Make sure you stay tuned for that and the progress that I'm going to be sharing every single week. So that's the top priority, making sure we start the 100 envelope challenge, and we're going to start from the highest numbers. So I need to make sure that money is included and available within our budget. Now, that means our bills, the money we have for bills are going to be a little bit tight in December, but that doesn't mean we won't be able to pay our bills because we've been saving consistently for the last 4 or 5 years, and we are a little bit ahead of our bills. So wherever there's a shortfall or a gap, we can pull it from our next month's bills account, or we can pull it from our cushion because we did save enough to put an adequate cushion in our main checking account, which I call our operating account. That's the account we operate from for everything, for savings, investing, and paying bills. So, with that being said, when you look at some of the paycheck budgets, you're going to see that we have a really small amount for bills. That doesn't mean that we won't be able to pay those bills. It just means that the incoming income is not enough because we're doing this challenge, because we're starting strong. We want to start 2024 strong, which is why we're starting in December. So let's get into what we're doing. We're going to start with the income. I have it pre-planned at $3,000. And let me see if I can hide some of this and make this bigger so you can see. So forgive me because I am doing this in real time. This might be a 20 to 25-minute video just so that we can actually do this together. So if you're not in a rush, thank you. Drink your coffee, drink your tea, and you can plan right along with me. I don't want to see some of these, or maybe I just want to make this a little bigger, but I don't know how to close it. Hide quick access. Maybe I don't want to hide quick access. Or show tabs only. Okay, we can do it like this for now. Okay, and then I want to make this bigger so that hopefully when you're watching on your screen, you can see very clearly. All right, so income $3,000. That's actually not correct. I'm looking on the side at my budget pre-plan to make sure I have the right amount of money that we should be using, and I think it's going to be 3,500 at minimum for the month. But 700 by 5 is 3,500. So we're going to work with 3,500 for the month, and that's the low ball. That's the minimum amount that we plan to use. Okay? And this right here, this section where it says fixed, this is my monthly budget broken down by the bills that I have to pay, which are fixed. And then over here under column B are all the variables. That's all of our savings, investings, goals. I said investings. So anyway, rent. We know that our rent is 1,500 per month. So that's the amount of the rent that we're going to allocate for January, because we'll by the time you see this and we're in December, we have already paid December's rent with November's money. Car insurance is $77 budgeted. Our electricity bill is going to be $50 budgeted. And then National Grid, we're not budgeting anything because we still have a credit of over $1,000 on that account. So we have it there just in case something happens, but we don't owe them any money. Life insurance number one is budgeted at 33. Life insurance number two is budgeted at 36. And I round up to the next whole dollar, just so that I like to round up on my bills and round down on the income, just to make sure I can pay all of the bills and still meet some savings goals. Spectrum is our internet providers, just internet only, just Wi-Fi, no cable, no phone line, nothing. And that's $85 budgeted. YMCA is our family gym membership, and that's budgeted at 94, I believe. I need to make sure. I think it's 94 because it's 93.75 actually, but I always round up. So yeah, $94 is what we budget for the gym. And then Metro is our cell phone, and that's 94 also. So if you look up here, our fixed expenses total 1969. So we know that 1969 is coming from this 3,500. And that should leave us with $1,500 left to budget with. So now we can do some of the most important things that we consider a foundational principle. 10% of the income that we're bringing in is going to our tithe. We're going to give that. So that's $350. And then we have about 1,100 left to work with. So investing is going to be 5% of that amount. So 5% of 3,500 is basically half of 350. Let's do quick math. I did it wrong. I always put it wrong in my calculator. I don't know why. But we're working with 3,500 by 0.05 is 175, right? That's 5%. So that means we have 35 times 5, which is 175. So $175 is going towards investing. And then transportation, emergency fund, wellness, clothing, renter's insurance. These are all savings, and we're saving 5% for all four of these, right? So that means that we're going to divide that 175 into that. So transportation, um, I don't know how I want to do it yet. I feel like I set it up, but I don't know exactly how I want to do it. Like, because that's a lot to save. We're supposed to save $35 each week, basically. That's what it is, into 175. So for transportation, um, let me see, maybe we can do $10 a week. And If we do that, that should work. Let's see if we can do $10 a week for transportation. So that would be $50, right? Out of 175. That leaves us with 125 left. Emergency fund, I want to put $10 a week there too. So that's $50. So we'll take that out. And that leaves us with 75. $75 to split between wellness, clothing, and renter's insurance. So that's 30 a piece or 35 a piece. So if we do 35 for wellness for the month, then we can do 20 for clothing and 20 for renter's insurance. Although I think I'm going to split that. I'm going to put $20 towards wellness in the month of December. Um, and then 35 plus 35 is 70. I think that might be too much. Let's calculate. Let me calculate this total quickly. This is transportation. That's 120. 120 minus 175 is $55 left. So out of 55, I could put 35 to renter's insurance because that is due in December. So we'll need to make sure we're putting money aside there, and then we'll put $20 towards clothing. So this should total the 175, and it does. So boom, we have that taken care of. Emergency fund gets 50, transportation gets 50, wellness gets 20, clothing gets 20, and renter's insurance gets 35. And we have cash that we have to pull out. So we're going to be pulling out at least $200 every single week for the 5 weeks of the month, which is $1,000. And I hope I'm doing this right. And miscellaneous, probably not going to get as much. The monthly budget is not going to match our budgets by paycheck exactly. So, because of how we're doing this challenge, the 100 envelope challenge, and we are working with a tighter income, but I still need to see overall what do we have that's due and see if we can reach our variable goals, which are savings, investing, and all of that. So I'm going to leave, I think I'm going to leave this at 0. If we look, we're over budget right now. $3,669 is where we are. We are definitely over budget. So we have to figure something out throughout the month to keep our budget together. That means we're over budget by $199. So we have to just we've got to work this out. We've got to see what we're going to do. I don't know exactly. The good thing is some of these bills may be less than what we're actually budgeting for, and because we saved up enough in our next month's bills, we might be able to use that money and apply it to our income and use that as like our inflow to take care of some of the bills that are already, that are going to be due in December. So we'll see how that works. I'm going to move on to the paycheck budgets. This is the one that I think is really going to be helpful. Let me go back to November quickly and do a copy because I want to copy this and then I want to, yeah, and then just change this color. So I need to see what color green this is. So I need to do what? Nope, I don't want to see the formula. I want to view. Ah, this is probably why I should have kept um, not the page layout. Home. Okay, let's look at this color. This fill is the last green. So I'll make this green. Here we go. And I'll make it bold because it's hard to see. So I'll make this bold too. And I'll change that to green. Or no, I'll keep it black because nope, this is the actual here. And this is the budget there. Okay, and then we want to equal sum the tithe and all the other things that might come up in the month. So we'll do it to there. Right, did I do it right? Yes, and we'll make this accounting. Boom. All right, so paycheck number one, the tithe is planned at $70. National Grid is 0. I don't know why I have National Grid here. I think I need the first week of December is okay. We have YMCA that's due, and we have our gym membership, but we only have $60 allocated for the first paycheck. YMCA and Geico. Geico is budgeted at 77, but that means we've only really allocated $60 towards bills. So we're going to have to take the difference from our next month's bills account to cover the gym membership at least. And the YMCA, Geico, our electricity bill, our internet bill, our cell phone bill, all paid on our credit card. So what's going to happen is the charges are going to hit the credit card. We have to pay the credit card back. That's essentially what's happening. So what I'll do is I'll insert a note to myself here so I know that we're going to need to cover the difference of how much is that? It's $34. 94 minus 60 is $34. Cover the difference of $34 with next month's bills. That's what's going to have to happen there. Okay. And then cash. Cash is easy. We're going to be taking out 200. We're going to take out $200 in cash. For rent, 1/3 of the rent is what we have to put aside each week. And that's going to be $300 in the month of December because we have 5 weeks to save up for January's rent. And we have our emergency fund. And remember, we said we were going to put $10 a week there. So, and we have $35 to save. And then transportation, we're also going to give that $10, and that's $20. Looks like I'm over budget. Why am I over budget? U16 equals if. Okay, no, I'm not over budget yet. I still have more to work. I think I need to update my spreadsheet. We're going to put money into wellness. We're going to put money into renter's insurance because we have to do that. And we're going to see if we can put money into clothing. So let's see. We're already at $20 and we have $35. So we have $15 more to go. So, ooh, $35 divided into 5 is $7. Let's put $7 here, $4 here, and $4 here. And we still have more money to work with. We haven't done our investing yet. So let's put our investments in. We're going to put money into the IRA. And the IRA is set to get you have to change this to 15. So the IRA is going to get $35. That's our $700. Did I really change this to? I think I need to edit this to 700. That's what we're going to work with. And we do have a zero-based budget. So we need to make this fit in there. So let me go ahead and just, because it's so, okay, wait a minute. Maybe I just need to do this. There we go. Okay. So we do have a zero-based budget working with $700. $70 going to tithe, 62 YMCA, which is less than what we need. So we're going to take the difference of $34 from next month's bills. Cash is 200, rent, a third of the rent 300, emergency fund, transportation, wellness, clothing, and renters insurance is going to get $35. That's 5% of the income we plan to use. And the IRA, which is our investment, that's going to get $35, 5% of what we plan to use. So that's how this is going to work. And then when we're ready to close out the budget, I'll come back and do a paycheck budget review. That's going to be, I think, on Monday, the 4th, when you see this. It's going to be our next Vlogmas. I think Vlogmas Day 4. So that is our first paycheck budget. It was a little rough getting through it. I hope if you're still here with me that you don't mind clicking like on the video and comment down below. How are you doing your budget for the end of the year? Are you focusing on more of your savings? Are you focused on getting a head start of your challenges for the new year? Or are you paying down debt aggressively? Let me know down in the comments so we can keep each other accountable and keep each other encouraged on this journey. So, yeah, we're in savings mode right now, which is fine. We have to save as much as we can, but we also want to keep investing every single week at minimum, no matter what. So that's our $700 paycheck one budget. Now, for paycheck number two, we're going to need to insert um, a column. There we go. But I want to get rid of this. So I want this to be blank. So let me just, there we go. There we go. And this will equal sum of these, just in case. Okay, good. And then we'll make sure that this is also accounting. And this also needs to be accounting. I'm updating my spreadsheet as I do this budget. So then we have our budgeted and actual. So this is the budgeted, and I'll just do a copy paste. That makes it so much easier. So I don't have to format it all over again. So copy and paste. There we go. So paycheck number two, the tithe we plan for 70. Investing is going to be 35. Saving is going to be 35. And cash is going to be 200. So we're at $340 so far. Rent 300. So this should be 1/4. Okay, which is really 1/5. But anyway, Spectrum is $85. We only have $60 allocated towards bills. So we're not going to be able to, we may be able to pay it. We're going to have to pull it from another account. But Spectrum is due the second week of December. No, it's not. It's not even due the second week. So we're not even going to worry about Spectrum. Spectrum is not due until the third week of the month. So Metro PCS is also not due until the fourth week of the month. So we're not going to worry about that yet. Allstate number two is not due as yet. So what bills are due that week? I think we only have PSEG. So I'm going to change this here. PSEG is due, and that bill is usually $50. So we can pay that, and we have 10 more dollars left over, but that's the only bill that's due in the second paycheck. So from there, what I'm going to do is change this to next month's bills, and I'm going to put $10 into next month's bills to help us with our future bills for the upcoming paychecks. So paycheck number two, which will be on the 8th of December, we're only going to pay our electricity bill and then put $10 towards next month's bills. And then after that, we have $700. So we're not over budget. We're not under budget because My formula was a little off because we're not budgeting for 750 each paycheck. We're only going to budget for 700. So let's do this here. And these should be accounting, and they are accounting. So bless the Lord. So we're done. We're good with that. I'm probably going to change this because we need to have our savings broken down like I did in paycheck one. I don't know why I didn't do it here. So we're going to break this $35 down and make it so emergency fund, right, would get $10. And then transportation would get $10. And that's 20. And then wellness would get, let me see, $4 to keep up with each. I think wellness is supposed to get $5 a week, but we'll see. And then clothing is supposed to get some money. So let me see. If I add, I'm going to do it like this. I'm going to do wellness slash clothing, and I'm going to make this $8. And that still leaves us with, if it's 693, we have, let me see. We still have $7 left to budget. So we didn't do renter's insurance yet. So let's put renter's insurance, and that will be $7. So now we have a zero-based budget. So I want to move these around, but that's our savings. Our savings is the emergency fund is 10, transportation is 10, wellness and clothing is $8, renter's insurance is $7, and that's our $35 right there. So we're good to go. It's not in the same order as the first paycheck, but this is a new spreadsheet. I just created it, and I'm going to work out the kinks. So then we need to focus on paycheck number 3. Let's go ahead and set that one up. And then I also want to make sure I am copying and pasting the same information over so it looks uniform. And for paycheck number 3, tithe is 70 as usual, investing is 35. That's the IRA, and we are going to save $35, and we'll break that down again in just a minute. Cash is going to be $200 just like every week. We've already put PSEG in the second paycheck because it was due that week. In the third week, we have one life insurance policy, and we have our Spectrum. Yeah, our Spectrum is due that week, and we have $60 allocated. So we're kind of a little bit tight. So Spectrum is going to end up getting $30, and the difference is 85 minus 30. Okay, I know my camera shut off. I reached the 30-minute limit, but I hope you're still here. Okay, anyway, even if you're not, I have to continue because I really need to make sure I have December's budget set up. December. So let's copy this again so we don't have to do it again on paycheck number 5. Good. And let's go back. So paycheck number 4 budget, we're going to do, the giving is 10%, so 70. Investing is 35 in the IRA. Saving is 35. Cash is 200. Miscellaneous, I did not put anything for paycheck number 4, and I think that's because, again, the budget is really tight. But that's okay. I'm going to keep it there anyway. I should have had you at the end. That would have made more sense, but it's okay. $300 being put aside for the rent. We're at 640, and we're not over budget, so I need to adjust this again. It's going to be 700, but it's not over budget just yet. It's only at 640, so we still have $60 left to allocate. Paycheck number 4 is December 15th, and we have No, that's paycheck number 3. Paycheck number 4 is December 22nd. And we have the second life insurance policy that's due this week. So I'm going to change this to Allstate too. And that is $36. But out of 60, that would leave us $24 left to budget. So, and Geico hasn't been paid yet for the month. Um, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it. Mm, let's see. We don't have any other bills due. Or we have our cell phone bill. Our cell phone bill is due that week, and that's 94, but we have $24. So that means we're going to have to take the difference from our next month's bills account. So make another note, get difference of, let me see, $70 from next month's bills. Okay. And so I need to make sure this 36 and this 24 should equal $60, and it does from this budget. It could be more. That's the other thing. We're budgeting for the least amount because this is how I like to do it. So it's uniform, and whenever there is extra income, we'll apply it to the paycheck budget, and we'll fill in gaps where there are gaps. So that way we may not have to take money from our next month's bills because we may have extra income, but we're planning for the least just to be on the safe side for me. The good thing is we have a backup plan, right? Right now, the plan is take from next month's bills to fill in wherever we're short for bills. But when there's extra income, we may not have to do that. So we have two options. So we're not at a loss here. That's the thing. We always look at the brighter side or on this side of the YouTube universe. So if you're here in the budgeting space and you're looking at your budget and you're saying, I'm short, I'm going to be in the negative, I'm going to have to dip into my cushion, or I'm going to have to dip into my emergency fund. Maybe that's not the case. If you start planning ahead for future bills, you'd be able to pull from that. If you have to pull from your savings, you have to do it. Some of us are in that season where we have to do that. But always set up a plan so you know exactly what's going to happen with your money. If A happens, I have a plan. If B happens, I have a plan. So you're not just scrambling when it's time for an income comes in and you're like, I don't know what to do. Have a plan ahead of time. So we're at $700 already. $70 giving, 35 investing, 35 saving, 200 cash, $36 for this bill, 300 for rent, and 24 for Metro with a note because we're going to take from next month's bills if we don't get extra income. Now the savings is going to be broken down pretty much the same way for paycheck 3 and paycheck 4. We're only focusing on dividing between transportation, emergency fund, wellness, clothing, and renter's insurance. So we'll figure out how to allocate money for those 5 things. If you can hear some like kind of banging going to somebody's upstairs above us doing some work, and I'm so sorry. I didn't expect that today, but I am going to get through this video for Vlogmas Day 2. So for paycheck number 5, we're still going to be working with 700. So $70 is our tithe. Investing is 35. We have 35 for savings as usual, 5%, 200 for cash because we're going to be doing some savings challenges. Remember, we're kickstarting it. We started the largest numbers so that by the time we get into January, we've already started and we're already ahead of the game. So we won't have to pull out as much each week. It'll be less and less and less, and we've already got a good head start. Miscellaneous is 0 for now, and I think the only bill that we have not yet paid for the month is Geico. So let me just go back and check. We did Allstate number 2, and we did Metro PCS. We paid YMCA also. We paid Allstate number 1. We paid our electricity bill. So the only bill that has not been paid yet is Geico, and Geico is supposed to get $77. So I'm going to change this to Geico, and we have $60 allocated for bills that week. So we'll have to take again from next month's bills unless we have that extra income. So we're going to say get difference of $17 from next month's bills. There we go. Okay, so that's done. And then rent $300. So that's our $700 zero base budget. We just want to see it at zero. We want to see that nothing is left to allocate. We've allocated everything. I think I've taken care of all of the bills. I think I have. I've also taken care of all of our savings goals. The only thing we haven't really budgeted for that we normally do is miscellaneous. And if you've been here before, if you are a true legacy builder and internet cousin, you already know that miscellaneous is where we put cash in that account so that we can pay for groceries, buy food, and all of the things that could happen throughout the month. Now, I don't know at this point in time how November ended because we haven't finished November yet, but I do know this. We are putting money in miscellaneous every single week in the month of November, and there was already a balance in there. So if we're smart with the money, we should still have enough there in December to be able to buy groceries and all of those things. Again, the big goal is to start the 100 envelope challenge hard, and I'm using the least amount. So in my mind, I'm already saying to God, okay, God, there has to be weeks where there's going to be more than just the $700 income. We've got to be able to work with more. And I'm already setting that up right now ahead of schedule because I'm filming this in November. So that means when you see this video, I should already be having more income coming in for the paycheck budgets in December that will help us to put more aside for future bills and pay the current bills. All of our bills are going to be paid. We have to do some finagling. We got to do some, some different things, but we're getting our bills paid. Plus, we're still investing and saving because that is super important in this time and season. If we do not save for the things that are coming up soon, if we do not put money aside for our future expenses, like by investing, then I'm doing my family a disservice. And I say that um, with the utmost conviction because I know that we can't just spend money on things that won't last forever. We have to invest for long term growth. And that's what I'm going to be doing bit by bit, little bit by little bit. So, paycheck number 5 is done. Is We've allocated everything. Paycheck 4, 3, 2, and 1, all done. I'm going to perfect this so it's easier when I do the January budget this way because again, baby girl's coming and life is going to be different with a newborn for those first 2 months. So just expect that I will be doing a digital budget for you as well as a written pre-planning, all that. I want to walk you through all of it. So if you're a beginner, if you're starting over, if you're refreshing yourself, you're resetting yourself for the new year, then hopefully these videos that I have coming out from Vlogmas for hopefully the videos that I have coming out from Vlogmas will help you, that will encourage you, inspire you to keep going. Do not give up. Remember, you have to be consistent if you want to see change and progress. You've got to be consistent. So that is it for today's video. I appreciate you for being here for as long as you did. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any feedback, comments, anything, leave them down below. I really appreciate it. I love talking and chatting with you guys back and forth. Remember to mind your money, you guys. Manage it well and live your lives abundantly. Bye for now.